What's important for petite individuals? Hello, I'm Midstyle, here to cheer on your midlife journey and walk that path with you. Are you concerned about being on the shorter side? You know, did you realize that Lady Gaga is merely 5 feet 1 inch in height? Even though she was short, she established her own iconic style, making a name for herself not only as a singer, but also as a unique and unparalleled artist. For her, being petite was simply a part of who she was, and it never became an obstacle to expressing her unique personality and individuality. So, how can you dress stylishly, even if you're petite? Let's go on another fun fashion journey with Midstyle today. First, create vertical lines. The most direct and simple way to create a vertical line is to wear clothes with vertical stripes. Vertical lines can create an optical illusion, making you appear taller. Unlike horizontal lines that can make you look wider, vertical lines create a long and slim silhouette. You can also use accessories and other items to create vertical lines. When selecting necklaces, it's crucial to opt for styles that have a bit more length and allow the pendant's weight to naturally form a vertical line, rather than going for shorter pieces or choker designs. On the other hand, avoid anything too flashy or bold, as it can look overwhelming. Regarding scarves instead of square shapes, it's better to opt for long rectangular ones or extended twilly scarves. You can either tie them gently or let them drape downwards, effectively creating a prominent vertical line. For jackets, I recommend a single-breasted style that falls in a straight line, rather than a double-breasted one where the fabric overlaps in the front. Regarding coats, steer clear of double-breasted styles where the front fabric overlaps or loose-fit coats that obscure your natural shape. They might make petite figures appear bulky. When you leave your coat unbuttoned, a style where the front edges fall in a straight line, creating a vertical line, will make you appear significantly taller. When creating vertical lines, a key point to remember is to steer clear of long, oversized outerwear, especially when choosing coats. Even if a long vertical line is created, an outer garment with excessive length that covers the entire body and is larger than one's own fit will overpower a petite individual. This makes it difficult for even the most skilled stylists to look good. Even the super stylish Olsen twins, when seen wearing a long maxi coat, well, it's just not quite right, you know. I'm not so sure. I don't think it looks particularly good on a petite frame. Second, think about proportion. For individuals of short stature, it is crucial to establish visually appealing proportions. However, for those in their middle years who prioritize elegance and sophistication, I won't advise wearing cropped tops or miniskirts that expose legs merely to achieve ideal proportions. This wouldn't align with their graceful and refined style. Shorter styles just won't allow a mature woman's elegance and sophistication to shine through. The most prevalent method to enhance your body's proportions involves wearing high-waisted bottoms and tucking your top into them, thereby elevating your waistline significantly. However, for petite women who are a bit curvy, this can feel uncomfortable by highlighting the hips or stomach. A simple yet effective technique in such situations is to unify the colors of your top and bottom garments. When you unify the colors this way, you get a significant lengthening effect from the color alone, even without high-waisted pants and tucking in your top. A monochromatic look, especially in neutral tones, can also look very chic and stylish. You must avoid stark color differences between tops and bottoms, as they sharply delineate and visually shorten proportions. When observing the looks of Song Hye-kyo, who is 5'2", ensembles unified in color appear to elongate her figure far more than outfits where the top and bottom colors contrast. Petite individuals should consider purchasing matching sets that come with both a top and bottom, or effectively utilize dresses, which remove any concerns about coordinating colors. When buying a dress, choose styles with an inherent silhouette and a slightly elevated waistline. This will conceal the stomach and hips, resulting in better proportions and a more slender look. When coordinating top and bottom colors, pay close attention to the silhouette. Even if the colors match perfectly, a garment that extends in a straight or A-line fashion from shoulders to ankles, creating a long and loose silhouette, can unfortunately make you appear as though you're wearing a large, shapeless sack. I recommend you choose clothes that already have a defined waistline built in, and for garments without an inherent waistline, use a belt to cinch and create that flattering silhouette. When placing a belt, positioning it slightly above your natural waist looks best for your proportions, and avoid very thick belts, as they can make your waist look blocky. A look centered around a dress like this is especially great for petite individuals who are fuller on the bottom, as it can conceal the hips and thighs. Third, opt for long bottoms to effectively hide your leg line. For pants, a straight leg style that slightly covers your shoes works best. Absolutely avoid wearing capri pants or ankle-length trousers with an awkward hem. The shorter the pants, the shorter your proportions look. As you can see in the photo, even with similar color combinations and styles, the difference in proportion between an outfit with short pants that expose the shoes and one with longer pants that cover them is surprisingly huge. Even slightly extending the length of awkward ankle-length pants in Photoshop makes a significant visual difference in proportions. However, avoid lengths that completely hide your shoes, even if they're long. When the end of the shoe isn't visible, it becomes unclear where the body concludes, making the style seem incomplete and visually ungrounded, as if it's floating. When the length is long, a bootcut design is also perfectly fine. However, with bootcut styles, the more pronounced the flare, the stronger the retro vibe, and the more challenging it becomes to coordinate, so choose one with only a slight curve. Bootcut pants awkwardly cut at the ankle are a definite no-go. A key thing to consider when choosing pants is to avoid fabrics that wrinkle easily. Thicker pants with a high cotton content tend to wrinkle easily, and the horizontal creases that form around your hips when you sit and stand are not good for petite individuals who need to emphasize vertical lines. Opt for pants made from a rayon or poly blend, ensuring they have a beautiful drape and resist wrinkling even after extended periods of sitting. Additionally, a sharp crease pressed along the front of the trousers would be highly beneficial. As I mentioned before, this creates a vertical line, making you look even taller. If pants like this are hard to find, another great option is a long skirt that drapes along your body, which avoids any worries about creasing at the hips. When picking pants, another point to watch out for is absolutely not wearing skinny jeans that expose your leg line. With skinny jeans, the crotch area is clearly visible, which starkly exposes the true length of your legs. For Jessica, wearing longer pants that conceal the crotch area creates a much more appealing look and makes her appear taller compared to an outfit with skinny pants that reveals the entire length of her legs. Fourth, show some skin. No matter what you wear, as soon as some skin is exposed, our eyes are naturally drawn to it. For the simplest method, I strongly recommend opting for a V-neck line for your tops. The skin line, extending from your face down to your neck and collarbone, truly appears both refreshing and wonderfully elongating. Can you see the difference in the photos between when the neck and collarbone are covered versus when they're exposed? As you can see from Song Hye Kyo's look, even with the same amount of exposure, a V-neck looks much more open and elongating than a straight neckline that creates a horizontal line. For IU, similarly colored tops with a round neck covering the collarbone appear somewhat stifling, whereas a V neckline dropping lower creates a much more refreshing impression and captures attention. If you're wearing a skirt, instead of just a long skirt, choose one with a slit to show off your legs. Exposing the skin on your legs makes them look slimmer and also creates a vertical line, making you appear taller. If you're wearing a long sleeve top, roll up the sleeves. Whether it's a jacket, a cardigan, or a shirt, any long-sleeve top should have its sleeves rolled up to expose your wrists. For dark, long hair, letting it hang loose might appear heavy and overwhelming due to its dark color, so it's better to choose a lighter, shorter hairstyle or tie it up in a ponytail or an updo, revealing your ears and the nape of your neck. Fifth, add a focal point to your upper body. For petite individuals, it's better to draw attention to a specific spot rather than having the gaze wander over the entire body. The simplest and best method is to highlight your upper body. A light-colored top is better than a dark one, and having a collar or decorative detail around the neckline is also a great idea. IU is a great example of someone who really knows how to style her tops to create a focal point. Straps that cascade gracefully over the chest, eye-catching ribbons, intricate embroidery, or even shimmering bold earrings all serve to captivate the eye and make it pause. It creates a completely different feel compared to wearing a plain, unadorned outfit, doesn't it? If wearing such outfits always feels tough or overwhelming, accessories can achieve the same effect, so keep a pair or two of statement earrings ready. Any item that can effectively draw attention upwards is excellent, such as a muffler, a scarf, a hat, accessories, or even sunglasses. Irene, who is 5'2", makes excellent use of hats. Thanks to the structured hat's shape, it effectively adds height from its starting point, creating an overall taller appearance. The hat also draws attention, significantly reducing the noticeability of your short stature. If you're a petite individual with a fuller upper body, it's best to choose tops with a silhouette that drapes along your body rather than thick, bulky clothes. On the other hand, if your upper body is very thin and slight, I recommend thick knits or structured tops that create a cozy-looking fit. In addition, for bags, it's preferable to select a smaller size rather than a larger one and shorten the strap so it doesn't appear too long and saggy, which could make it look droopy. Also, a small tote bag works. Considering your body's proportions, it's best to avoid overly large or flashy accessories as they can be visually overwhelming. Opt for items that don't overpower your frame. Furthermore, coordinating your footwear with the color of your bottoms can elongate your silhouette. Also, sharply pointed and sleek shoe designs appear visually longer than blunt and rounded toe shapes. If you're wearing a skirt that shows your legs, go for skin-colored shoes, and if you're wearing stockings, be sure to match your shoes to the color of the stockings. Okay, let's recap today's key points. Create vertical lines. Think about proportions. Wear long bottoms to conceal your leg line. Strategically expose skin. Accentuate your upper body with a focal point. Additionally, consider small bags, pointed toe shoes, and shoes that match the color of your bottoms for further impact. I've been talking about fashion for petite individuals, but being short is just part of what makes a person unique. These are simply guidelines. If there's something you desire to wear, then wear it without hesitation. Lastly, I'll wrap up by discussing posture. Irrespective of your height, aim to straighten your back, pull back your shoulders, and actively endeavor to correct any tendency you might have to slouch. Even for the same individual, the impression they convey shifts based on their posture and how they present themselves. Social media sensation Rianne Meyer, despite her beautiful face, slender physique, and impeccable style, demonstrates how her appearance can undergo a complete transformation, doing a full 180, purely based on her stance and facial expression. But above all, please remember that a self-assured and dignified stance is what truly matters most. I'll be back with even more valuable fashion tips to make your time watching this worthwhile. If you found this video beneficial, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and enable notifications so you won't miss any of our carefully curated videos. Until then, see you later. Goodbye for now.